Jak and Daxter will always be a series that cannot be matched with any other. While there are others that I do enjoy and some that are also very close to my heart, none truly captured the long love in my heart like the Jak games did. Maybe it's because both Crash and Ratchet went on to live long enough to both be milked into games that, albeit are not too bad, they just don't capture the feeling that the classics had, which is why I'm relieved and really excited that both of these two icons are getting new games. I mean, Jak did have a rough point, but we're not going to mention that one, as I like to believe it doesn't exist. Even Naughty Dog don't like that one, as when making a brand new game that's now scrapped, they called it Jak 4, which would hopefully have retconned that terrible mess. Saying that, however, I'm glad it got cancelled because the character models were far too changed, completely losing the identity of the series. I mean, look at the new Ratchet and Crash, they both look beautiful without having to look crazy, ridiculously real. Anyway, with that being said, Jak had a perfect trilogy and two beautiful side games. I sadly won't be able to review Daxter as I don't have a PSP anymore, nor a PS Vita, and I can't hold many promises that Jak X will be reviewed either, but it's a maybe. However, I can 100% confirm that the original trilogy will all be getting covered over the course of the next 3 videos. If you happen to be watching them towards the end of 2020, then you're in luck, as all 3 of them are already done and in a series that can be found in the description down below. Anyway, with that all out of the way, let's just get into this marathon, starting with Jak and Daxter The Precursor Legacy. Jak and Daxter The Precursor Legacy is a collectathon platformer like no other, really blowing away the performance capabilities of the PlayStation 2. It is the first video game that plays in full with little to no loading screens. There are some exceptions with things like climbing Snowy Mountain and going over to Misty Island, but that's not a loading screen in my eyes. It's just going up the mountain and it takes barely any time at all. Also, for the sake of this marathon, I would like to say I'll be using the PlayStation 3 HD collection to record my gameplay. The PS2 is collecting dust somewhere, which is why I said in the intro that Jak X might not be coming anytime soon, as I really don't know where it is. Anyway, back to Jak 1, and let's briefly, yes, briefly, talk about the story. I won't be going into much detail, as I believe if you're watching this in 2020, you have to be a Jak and Daxter fan and already at this point know the story. So for you guys, I hear you, I will be fast. And well, I guess the other alternative is you have no idea what Jak and Daxter is. In which case, buy the trilogy and X immediately. Anyway, story time. Jak and Daxter... So glad that they changed Daxter's design because I'm really not a huge fan of that. Anyway, Jak and Daxter are messing around on Misty Island when they briefly hear Gal and Maya discussing a terribly evil plan. At the time, they don't know who they are and quickly flee. Continuing to snoop, Daxter finds a piece of precursor crap, as he calls it, which reacts better to Jak's touch.
Some power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that?
The two then get jumped on by a lurker, so when Jak throws the object at him, the pair are projected back, with Daxter falling into the dark eco and flying back out, looking like the Daxter we all know and love today. With no hope, the only alternative is to ask Samos for help. He tells them both about Gal Acheron, who can turn Daxter back, but he lives in the north.
It's far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages.
So without going any deeper, the game is now basically an adventure to get Daxter's changed back. But due to there being lava in the way and the Sage's portals being turned off, you have to collect enough power cells to charge the zoomer that you will then use to cross over the lava into a new area. The power cells can be obtained via many different ways. You can help out the locals in return for them, you can find 7 scout flies in each area, with the 7th granting you a power cell, you can just randomly find them lying around the world, that's always nice, or you could trade them using precursor orbs, which are scattered all around the world. It's nice because each area has a tracker that informs you when you've collected all of the precursor orbs in that one area, with a total of 2,000 orbs in the game. You won't find them all of the power cells in the first run, but by the time you've played it as long as I have, you'll know just about every single collectible with no worries. Yet even now, knowing where everything is, it's still such an enjoyable experience. The game's set into sections that branch off into different areas. Each one has its own typical hub area where the sage's house is, with some side characters scattered around the local village. These characters will ask you to do certain tasks, which then lead you off into a new area. Some areas you may need to return to at a later time if you haven't done the previous one first. For example, to complete Spider Cave, you need the yellow eco to be available, so if you choose Spider Cave first, you'll have to return there later after doing Snowy Mountain, which unlocks the yellow eco pods. It's good because some quests bounce off of each other. For example, the sculptor asks you to go to Misty Island, but it's not until you've done the Fisherman's minigame that you gain access to the boat that'll take you over to Misty Island anyway. So it's all about learning the best route to take to get that easy 100%. But when we talk about the sections, this game truly does take you all around the world. One moment you'll be on a tropical beach, then you'll be stuck on a snow-filled mountain, maybe lost in a jungle, or even a spider-infested cave, lava pits, and underwater bases. This game truly does all sorts of environments. But how about the gameplay? Well, as mentioned, it's a collectathon platformer, so the controls for Jak have to be tight, and I can confirm they're perfect. You can thrust punch, spin attack, punch jump, jump spin, and of course double jump. Jak can also roll, swim, and skate when needs be. Not to mention, he's also a fantastic fisherman.
Here comes a big one! You did it! You caught 200 pounds of fish!
One eternity later.
Around the world, Jak can collect eco that enhances his abilities for a brief moment. Blue eco is a large burst of electricity that opens doors, enhances speed, and collects precursor orbs and scout flies that are nearby. Yellow eco, that emits a burst of fireball-like projectile out of Jak's hand. Very good for long-range attacks. Red eco, well, that just enhances strength to make harder enemies a one-hit kill. Green eco fills the health and can be also collected in smaller doses over time. And finally, light eco. That can only be seen once before it's never seen again or enhanced by Jak until Jak 3. Now, in a previous Jak and Daxter video, I had people in the comments saying, that's not light eco. It is light eco. Trust me, it's light eco. Daxter even says it.
Light eco! That could be the stuff to change me back! Or might stop that robot.
Quite the variety of things that Jak can use to switch up the gameplay, but that's not all. There's minigames, some horrible, some good. There's vehicle type missions controlling Azuma, which are horrendous, by the way. Just a personal opinion though, because they do actually play pretty well. I just can't stand this section. And a flop bird, who you save towards the start, that can then be used twice to create a new style of gameplay. She's okay, very short moments of gameplay, but they're still fun, and that's what counts. Anyway, with any collectathon, you'll expect some kind of prize for getting everything, right? Well, to my surprise, you actually get a secret ending. I'll let that play now, but don't worry, that isn't any spoilers. It's quite lacking in most details.
Holy yakko! What could that be?
Wow! It's an ancient precursor door! It looks like it will only open if we fill all 100 holes with power cells.
We're heroes, remember? We have 100 power cells.
Wow! What is it? It's so beautiful.
By Precursors.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing really, isn't it, for collecting all 101 power cells. But before we end this, last but not least, we have to applaud the music in this game. No matter where you are in the game, you have to sit back and listen to the music. And honestly, it's fantastic. Key tracks have been playing in the background of this video, and my personal favourite would have to be the final boss battle's theme. I could just listen to that one for hours, which reminds me, there's only 3 boss battles, all very basic. Just ignore the boss's swings until you can go in for an attack. The first one being with fists, and the other 2 being with yellow eco. They're okay, but like I say, very basic. But what do you expect? You only have fists. It's not like Jak has guns. Anyway, let's wrap up Jak 1 with a final score. I give Jak and Daxter The Precursor Legacy a 9 out of 10. Almost perfect, but just probably brought down by its shortness and overall lacking of huge story. But oh boy, is the story about to take a whole new turn. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I really hope to see you in the next one, where we will continue with Jak 2, or in some countries, Jak 2 Renegade. I thank you all for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to drop it a like and subscribe. Comment what you thought of the video and Jak 1, or even the whole trilogy. We will be covering it eventually. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.
Sorry.